this is Houston. Loud and clear. Break. Buzz, this is Houston. Radio check and verify TV circuit breaker in. Great spot clear. And we're getting a picture on the TV.
The hopper. Yeah, the hopper. The hopper. That one DVR lets us record up to 6 shows at once and play them back in any room.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
All right, here we are at. We are welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Satellites Unlimited podcast. Hey, we're on camera this week, guys. So we got another jam-packed episode. This is episode number 10, so a big milestone for the podcast, right?
Double digits. Yep, double digits.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that just started as an idea. Matter of fact, Matt Simmons, sent me something about a podcast, and then, talking to some folks like right here at this table, like we knew Mark had, a background in doing podcasts, so it just made natural sense to kind of partner and align with him on that. And he's been the field general of this podcast. Of course, we covered for him last week. I don't know how well we did. I don't know what anybody's thoughts are on that, but we were able to put it on YouTube. So we said, you know what? Hey, why not go ahead and get us on here recording? So in this week's episode, it's very, very special episode. We got Camilo Munoz down there in Ocala.
I think he's looking for a hat, right?
He's looking for a hat. He's going to play on the game show. And then we have Shanka Bridges, who celebrated 20 years on July 20th being here. The longest tenured technician we've ever had at Satellites Unlimited. And, this is one thing I really want to focus on in this episode is this should be a really feel-good episode. This should be focused on, positivity and encouragement. The question that we asked our folks is, hey, tell us who the most positive, encouraging, enthusiastic team member is. And man, the responses, and we're going to read every single one. And, Todd and John P., they have them in front. We'll cover those later in the program. But we got Shanka Bridges, who is known as a positive, enthusiastic individual. Super excited to have his energy on the show. And then another special guest, Mr. Roddy McKinney, the founder of the company. So he'll be joining Shanka for that segment. So, guys, what are your thoughts? How's everything going? Anything new in your life?
Well, I think, I can just say this. I think that possibly, considering the guest that we have today, this may be the greatest podcast yet. Podcast number 10, the champion of champion podcasts.
Yeah.
And what I'm really excited about is the fact that we have a brand new microphone. Oh, now wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Right. Rumor has it, and I don't know how true this is, but rumor has it that this microphone was purchased at auction. It was the microphone used during the last broadcast of The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson back on May 22nd, 1992, over 30 years ago. Now, that is a rumor. I cannot confirm nor deny the validity of that fact, but The Tonight Show microphone.
And it's held up.
It really has.
Remarkably well for a take.
It really has. And I will tell you, so like for those that may not know, because we haven't been on cameras, we had this typically the way the podcast works, Mark is remote in Ocala, and there's no telling what kind of equipment he's got. I envision him with headphones and all the things, maybe like a mixer board next to him, right? Well, we typically have a boom microphone in here, and it's one of those direct microphones. So I was excited to get this one because it's omnidirectional. We did a test recording earlier, sounded fantastic. So new addition to the family right there. And we got kind of our mascot here.
Extra special guest.
And I hope that we have maybe some more props here in the future that we can kind of put around us,
Good thing we're on video because he's not very talkative.
He always looks so serious.
Yeah, he's fairly stoic. This is the Birmingham's. His name is Manny Quinn. For those that watch 2.5 Men, they may remember the episode with Manny Quinn. And so we got Camilo joining us here in a little bit. He's going to play a game for a hat, as we already mentioned. I'll tell you, talking to that guy on the phone, super respectful individual. I just I talked to him a couple of weeks ago on the phone. He was on vacation, and then booking him for the show today. Just I've never met him in person, and I think both of you have, right?
I had the privilege of meeting him back in October or November, October of 2019, when I went down and visited the Ocala office. And I had spoken with him on the phone before, and I got to tell you, what a fine young gentleman, very polite, very professional. My first interaction was on the phone. He was at a customer's home, dish customer having a challenge, and he went above and beyond the call of duty to make that customer happy. And you could just hear his level of customer care in his voice when you spoke to him on the phone. But nothing compared to when you met the young man. When I met the young man, just a very nice person. Does a great job for us here.
You know what that really speaks to as well. If you think he's as respectful and just great positive energy in the office, imagine how that transfers over to his customers.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No question.
One of the most successful technicians that we have in the Ocala office from a performance standpoint, sales, all of those metrics, he takes care not only with his attitude, but it really speaks to the fact that good performance begins with a good attitude.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, no argument there. And, really, when you think about Camilo, when you look at his job count too, he's an absolute machine. And we had him featured on our side hustle segment. Right. Remember,
yep.
he sent in, saying that he managed I think it was something like 6 properties.
Yeah.
He works at a Brazilian steakhouse in his spare time. I mean, the guy is tremendously ambitious as well.
Yeah. And to do all of that and still have such a great attitude and zest for life is pretty commendable. So I can't wait to hear how he does on our little quiz here.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is, we'll ask him, we'll maybe ask him about the side hustle while we have him on, get a little bit of, commentary surrounding that. But he was one of those early on when it came to kind of competing for the hat that raised his hand. I believe he sent an answer to something that we had sent out, and he said, well, do I get a hat now? So, and we're keeping track on that. We have a grid to where every single person that sends us an email, we're tracking them on that grid. Every single person that's a special guest, we make sure that those hats get sent out on time too. So with today's episode, I would anticipate I'll probably be sending those out on Monday. And, we like to get that hat in those folks' hands, right away. We like having that immediate roar because in all fairness, Camilo and Shanka are running a route today, and they're, they're giving us the courtesy of their time today in the middle of their day when they're working out in the heat and doing all the special things that they do. So I'm excited. I thought we may have Roddy for the entire podcast, but from what I understand, he's traveling. So he'll join on with Shanka, and we have a special surprise for Shanka actually that we're going to announce on air, and I'm super excited about the surprise. He knows nothing about it, but as a company, we want to help Shanka and his family celebrate his 20 years of loyalty. So,
do you know what the surprise is?
It's a surprise to me as well.
We'll find out together then. So,
yeah. So I will tell you, you will not be disappointed when we announce that.
I'm never disappointed. Come on now.
well, I thought you may have. So for those that, are with us right now, man, I tell you what, we were trying to get this setup together and we got a jam-packed episode. Man, I'm sweating right now.
Hey,
I think I threw a temper tantrum with my phone because it wasn't acting right. I'm fortunate to have the team members that I have around me because you guys, you encouraged me, you helped me laugh a little bit, and it's always good to have those type of positive people in your life.
Hey, don't worry, everything is beautiful. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, do I have time for a cheap plug here?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I know you're the king of contests. I have a contest right now that's going on throughout the month of July for a Pit Boss barbecue grill. It's sitting outside in the call center there, still in its packaging. Mint condition, I might add. Yes, indeed. So this contest runs throughout the month of July. We've got now, I think, about maybe 10 sales days left as we record this program today. You got to get 5 installed Hughes retail referral sales to qualify for a chance to win the Pit Boss Smoker Grill. Right now, we've got 2 gentlemen that are very close to achieving 5 sales. The first one is being Mr. Brandon McDaniel out of Hattiesburg. He has 3 installed sales right now, 2 more to go. And Mr. Evan Elliott out of Albertville. Today, he has 2 retail installs. If they happen today, he will have his 5, and then he will qualify for a chance to win this grill.
Interesting about Evan Elliott, right? He's selling those in
Chattanooga. Yes, right. He is. Yes,
so he's attacking that no matter whether he's in house or in another area.
Very he's definitely shooting for the grill too, because I saw on their hangout, their chat group yesterday. You know, he knew where he was at on that. So when he had those 2 that he was talking about it last night in chat. So. So he's definitely engaged in that contest, John, and that's, you know, the type of engagement that, you know, we just want to see on, you know, every single competition. Everybody here, you know, you come in to the organization, and that's what's great about our company is you have an equal shot. It's all based off of your own personal performance. It's not based on any other outlying factors, right, guys?
And guys, if he is the only one to achieve 5 sales, and guess what? He wins by default. But I'm hoping that we have some competition out there. I'm hoping someone's going to get fired up out there, get intensified out there, and offer Evan Elliott some competition. I know Brandon McDaniel is, but there's a few others out there as well that are closing in. Because what I would love to see happen here, guys, is at the conclusion of this contest, we've got several people competing for a chance to win that grill. And Grant, as a surprise to you, how about if we have that scenario, we do a Facebook Live event?
Sure.
Do a drawing live for everybody.
Always down for a Facebook Live event. We've been doing that for the Summer Poker Series. I have seen the audience getting bigger and bigger. But I tell you what, guys, we do have, it seems like we may have Camilo. Hey, Camilo, you out there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes. Yes.
All right. There you go.
And see, folks, this is why I sweat. All right. So, yeah, Camilo. Pterodactyl. That's right, sir. All right, so Camilo, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, sir. Enjoying this beautiful weather here in Florida.
Man, I love that message, Camilo. So we're super pumped to have you on. You know, we were kind of, I don't know if your ears were ringing before coming on here, but, you know, we were talking about you a little bit and how infectious your personality is and how respectful you are and how you're a top performer in the organization. We felt like, you know, in regards to this episode specifically, when we talk about positivity, encouragement and enthusiasm, you seemed like the perfect choice of candidate to have to compete for a hat today, buddy.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I've been looking forward to the opportunity.
I know.
Yeah, that goes there. Well, I am very grateful that you guys brought me on the show, though, and I'm grateful too because I'm surrounded by so many guys that, just like you said, they're always with so much positivity. Like Mr. John, I can always hear him; he's always extremely positive, and I mean everybody in the organization is always pretty good about that, you know. So just like you said, it's infectious, so you can't help but to be positive in that situation, right?
Yeah, you got it, buddy. You got it. So I tell you what, before we go ahead and we get into this game show, man, I know you submitted, you know, some testimonials to your side hustle, right? And, you know, you talked about managing some properties and you talked about working at a Brazilian steakhouse. So where does that drive, where does that intrinsic motivation come from, man?
Look, I think it's because I got ADD, maybe. I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I like to keep busy, you know, and I have a large family too. So, you know, that always motivates me to try to provide for them and always be there for them as they need me, you know. So, and it came a long time, and none of those other side hustles are like something that are constant that I have to be doing, because this job, as you know, it takes a lot of time on its own, you know. So the good thing is, like with the Brazilian steakhouse, we mostly do like weddings and stuff like that. So it's not every weekend that I have to be there. And if we're not doing the like weddings or receptions and stuff like that, then I do work at the steakhouse too sometimes as a waiter or as a gaucho, which is the guys that give the different steaks and stuff. So I have my brother-in-law there a lot, and it's always a good couple extra dollars that I make whenever I need some. So that works out very good. And the properties, I mean, I was blessed that I came here close to the 2008, 2009 recession when the properties dropped in value a lot. And so we were able to buy a couple of houses that at that time they were extremely cheap. So now I just pretty much rent those houses. And once the house is rented, that almost flies on its own, other than every once in a blue moon, something will go bad and then you just got to go over there and fix it. But it's not complicated to do that. Well, and the loans, I do that around because there's always loans to be done, especially during the summertime.
Yeah. Hey, and you were talking about that, man. Like, I know exactly how, you know, like draining and how demanding the job is. And I mean, you know, and we had like a submission from Ed Jordan out there in Grenada that said, you know, hey, look, I just want to spend time with my family in my off time. And that's what, you know, for so many people that were doing a side hustle, such as yourself, we had a lot of submissions there. It's just, it was really eye-opening and like, wow, you know. I tell you what, Camilo, I tell you what, with that being said, man, let's go ahead and I need to be sending you a hat, don't I, buddy?
Oh, no, we hope a lot of you did that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I learned it, though, but.
We got question number 1. You ready, buddy?
I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. Okay.
All right, Camilo.
Hey, Roddy is in, and you're sounding great. You're loud and clear on this end.
There you go, sir. All right, so we're doing a game show with Camilo Munoz, and then we're gonna get right to you and Mr. Shanka Bridges, sir. All right, so Camilo. All right, so what is the warranty for our GE Surge Pro 10x2? Camilo, you out there?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I didn't. I had it on mute. Yeah, it's 400,000.
400,000. All right. Yes.
That was quick.
All right.
$400,000.
Yeah. You're just gonna have to guess.
Okay.
John.
Let's see which. No, it's not that one.
That's the only
No, that's those. That was the
boing boing is the wrong one.
No, that's the right one.
Oh, it is. That's
okay.
Yeah,
So
that's the right one.
This is the right one.
Yeah, we feel it. Yeah. So
one more time. Here we go.
All right, Camilo, if you can hear that, that's basically your correct buzzer, and there'll be you may hear a different buzzer when this all gets said and done. Like, great job answering that question, sir. All right, let's go to question number 2. You're on a roll here, man. We're feeling good this morning. All right, so a hick is used primarily to connect a hopper to the internet. What else can a hick be used for?
Also to extend the access point to extend the access point for better reach of the Wi-Fi of the wireless joist.
You got it, buddy. You got it. Good job. All right, you are cruising through here. Now remember, hey, nobody's got all 5 questions right at this point, Camilo, and you're on a roll through 2 questions. All right, let's go to question number 3. So give me one example of how you would mirror a TV.
How would I mirror a TV? I mean, with the splitter. And so coming out of the UHF line, you want to split the UHF line. Okay, that would be an option. Another one, if the receiver is close enough to the second TV, you can just run AV cables from the second port of that, because hoppers cannot be mirrored, right? So there's that. Or unless you have an HDMI splitter, technically, so if you use an HDMI splitter, you could mirror what do you call it? A Joey or a hopper.
Right. You know? Yeah. And then,
does that answer your question?
No. Yes, you answered that correctly. You could do that, and technically too, like, hey, you start getting into RF modulators. Like, we were going to accept a whole bunch of type of answers there, but you nailed it, sir. All right, let's go to now. We're getting a little bit harder with our questions. All right, what is the all right, let's see, what is the okay, I got one, man. Locally channels use a different type of beam from the satellite. What is this beam called?
Oh man, no, you got me there, bro. You got
Mr. Aber took about 2 minutes on a question last week.
You know what we haven't done yet? We haven't given hints yet.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you can give okay. Yeah, Todd wants to throw out a hint, I think. So, Todd, what do you got?
It's an extremely popular name for a at least bicolored dog.
Bicolored dog?
Yeah, let's say you have a dog that's all white and maybe it's got some other things on it. What would
like
you
a
call
Dalmatian.
Like a Dalmatian.
So, see, here goes the thing. So, the beans I don't know much about. I don't know. Multi-beam?
No, here's what it is. It's a spot beam. It's a spot beam.
Oh, you know what? That is bad.
Yeah, so the regular signal comes down like a corkscrew, right? And then it reflects off the reflector and into the LNB, and then it's processed into the integrated receiver decoder or the IRD box, the receiver essentially. So, all right. So, hey, check this out though, man. We're going to throw out question number. We're going to give you another question in tribute to our guest that is not here. Now, Mark is part of the Ocala family, right? So,
yes, he is.
So I'm really holding you to this one, brother. All right. Plus, he's mentioned it's on several podcasts. All right.
Yes.
I had some questions about Todd and John P. And I got a bunch of questions to choose from here, but we're going Mark right here in tribute to him.
Okay.
Mark and his girlfriend Jennifer enjoy playing a certain type of sport together. What is that sport?
Golf.
Yes, good job.
I know he loves golf. I know that's Mark's thing.
Yes, he does. It's his thing, buddy. So, hey, man, I tell you what. So, let's throw it to our judges. We got John P. here. We got Todd. John P. Todd. So Camilo got 1 incorrect answer out of 5.
My answer is this. He gets a hat.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Because he is a superstar technician down there in the Ocala office.
Fair enough. Todd, what are your thoughts,
Well,
man?
I believe I concur this time with John, and but my reasoning is a little bit different. A good attitude deserves to be rewarded.
There you go.
I like it. And we started our conversation with Camilo outlining, all the many positive traits that he brings to the table, right? So Camilo, we appreciate your positive influence. We appreciate you encouraging others. We appreciate your enthusiasm in not only what you do, but with those side hustles, and more specifically for your family, brother. We know you're a good family man. And hey, I look forward to the day that me and you are able to meet face to face. And but hey, I'll be sending that hat down to you on Monday. Okay, buddy?
All right, good. Thank you very much for the opportunity, guys. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Camilo. All right. So
super positive guy.
Super positive guy. And again, somebody that we've been wanting to have on. And when I say that, I'm not, I'm not blowing smoke. I really can't wait to meet him. I saw a video when the Ocala office won a competition down there, and he was so excited going around the meeting room.
Hey, Satellites Unlimited employees, are you looking to make quick and easy money? If the answer is yes, then we have the deal for you. Here at Satellites Unlimited, you can earn money for every person you refer to work with us. All you need to do is have your candidate go to www.suidish.com and use your name when applying, and we will do the rest. It's quick and easy. We're an employee-owned company and want to welcome your referral into the family. So what are you waiting for? Start referring people today.
You're listening to the Satellites Unlimited podcast. Now, back to the show.
So I tell you what, hey, we're going to go from 1 positive guest to 2. We're going to double it up.
Chapter systems are offline.
Go. All right, so we are joined by Mr. Shanka Bridges out of our Mobile office, and we have our founding owner, Mr. Roddy McKinney, on the line, and we wanted to, we're going to let those guys kind of, reminisce down memory lane a little bit. But Shanka is celebrating 20 years with this company, the longest tenured technician that we've ever had. 20 years, Shanka. Like, what an awesome achievement. And, there was a story that went out about Shanka this week, and it was literally from Shanka, giving me all that backstory, giving me all that information. And so, Shanka, you out there, buddy?
I'm here, man.
All right, I see you there, big guy. So, and I'm getting a little bit of feedback, so if we have any kind of maybe volume turned on, if we just, maybe we can just, I don't want it to get in the way of you guys talking. So, all right, Mr. Roddy, you out there, sir?
I am here.
All right.
Roddy.
What it is, what it is, what it is.
Man, Ryan called me on the phone, and I used to be on the radio. He'll come through the town, and he'll hear the commercial. And I always start the commercial. What the deal? What the deal? And Roddy would call me and change the whole. What it is? What it is? No, man, it's what the deal. Okay, it could be what it is. We'll go with what it is.
Right. That's something that we didn't know, right? Is that Roddy used to call you up and say that, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, this don't bring back the old days, the good old days. I might be talking too loud, but that's what I do when I get excited.
Hey, man. Hey,
Shanka. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Mr. Roddy.
No, Shanka would be out there, and he'd be working and everything else, and he'd be, what's the deal? What's the deal? What it is? What it is? He'd walk in. He would light up a room every time, and some people brighten the room by leaving it. Shanka brightens it up by walking into it,
I'll take that.
He can light up the room with people. And we used to get excited to know Shanka was around, but you'd go in, you'd turn on the radio, you'd hear Shanka. He would be selling cars, man. He'd be selling something on the radio and working with us full time. And I'll never forget the days back in then. And you got the FSMs that are listening, not going to like me too much, but I don't know if it's the same rule. I don't think it is now. But back in those days, the FSMs had about, let's say, 15 technicians. Well, at the end of the day, their 15 technicians need to be accounted for, the ones who was out in the field. And if they had a job they were doing, if they were a little bit late, we always called on the senior tech, or an FSM went out and helped the guy finish up so that everybody finished at a certain time of day. Well, Shanka would volunteer to go by and help somebody if he had to drive 2 hours. He didn't care. Shanka was always a company guy. He always pitched in. He always did his part. He was always motivated and excited. And if you tried to get in his way, he'd give an aspirin a headache. I'll tell you what. This guy.
Well, we was always brought up. That's how we were brought up. When we first started, a lot of people left. So it was a lot of new guys. After 2 months, it was just all new guys after this big walkout. And I was here less than 60 days. I was the longest one here, so I became a senior tech in 2 months, and we all needed each other. So we that's how we lived. That's how we built the Mobile office, working together.
Well,
that's it. Well, he's always.
So you were, Mr. Roddy, you were talking about Shanka on the car commercial. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to some of Shanka's car commercial audio right now.
Okay, let's go.
What the deal? What the deal? Yo, man, Shanka, Suncoast City. Why would you buy a car that says as is? Is you crazy? You big dummy. We stand behind our cars. We don't just change your oil and shoot you down the road. And it ain't about just putting you in the street. We ain't talking about just in the car lot. Man, we talking Suncoast City. Every time I come to the bus stop, you at the bus stop with a goddamn transfer trying to get to work. Now, before I went to bed last night, Didn't I tell you to go look for us a car?
Yeah.
So why'd you do it?
I ain't got no credit.
I wish you'd have told me that last night. I'd knock you upside your head with a left hook and make you go down there to Suncoast City. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm getting on the bus. I gotta go to work.
Boy, you better get down there to Suncoast City. What the deal? What the deal? This is Shanka, and boy, we about to set this party off and blow it up Suncoast City style. Having car trouble, Professor? Oh, no, you seem to call me in the middle of my step aerobics I was doing in here. 98, 99, 100. My God. Chairman, won't you get this junk down to Suncoast City? Mama, you gonna embarrass my baby. Chairman, 35 years old, you running talking about some Sherman the baby. Look, you gonna be walking and riding a bike. Back when I was young, oh, nobody wanna hear your story. Look, I ain't gonna be around there trying to pay for Sherman and get no car. Sherman a grown man. Yo, man, Shanka, Suncoast City. Is your car leaking so much oil, BP suing you for damages? Craig, I want you to go out and look for a car. The word for the day is car. C-A-R. I want you to go to Suncoast City and grab a car and drive it and take it home with you. And all day long, just foot on the gas, just bang, bang, bang on the gas. That's your pleasure. Break it down. What the deal? What the deal? It's Shanka, Suncoast City.
Yeah, and first of all, Mr. Roddy, Shanka, thank you both for being on the show today. And Shanka, congratulations, my friend, on 20 successful years here at Satellites Unlimited and many more to come. But you talk about your energy, your passion, your enthusiasm. There was a time a few years ago, I was in the Mobile office. I cannot remember what the contest was. Maybe you can, but I was down there to award $1,000 in cash. And I remember having that $1,000 in cash with me the night before at the hotel, and I was so concerned that I was going to lose it or someone was going to jump me or whatever the case.
And I took it and ran out the door with it. I was so excited. I took it and ran to the parking lot and called my wife. Because every time I would accomplish stuff on the job, I would always go call my wife. Let me go tell my wife. Let me go tell my wife. She told me to tell Roddy hello. She said the last time I saw Roddy, I gave him a roll tide and he gave me $100. You remember that? Was it the that
Yep, I remember that. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know, people, they when you say the wife and you talk about your children and all, people forget what a family guy Shanka is as well. And I know that's the serious part of him, but that is the serious side. He is a family guy. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. He's crazy about his daughter. So, you know, he's all there. So that's a good thing. We built the business around people like that. And you take the business can be here. It's not what the McKinneys have done. You can start anything. But it's the people around you that build it. They make it. Look at John P. How many years has John P. been here now? How long you been here? 17 years, 18 years, John P.?
Over 17 and a half years. I'm very proud to say that.
Well, good. And Greg Maddox has been around a while. We got people been around a long time. So, Shanka, I'm proud to know you've been around 20 years. I know that you're excited about everything. And people don't realize that Shanka will stop and help people on the side of the road and get calls for it. He's stopped and done things for people that people don't want to give. You know, you never think about all the good things people do. If they do one thing bad, it's what everybody wants to talk about. Look at the positive, the good side of it. You know, 20 years. This guy could sell fleas to a dog and make him be happy for scratching. You know, it's amazing what all he can do.
Well, it's just like the old days.
Well, you know, one of the things that I thought was interesting when me and Shanka talked was, you know, he talked about, you know, when there was a time in his life that he was going through that was really tough, and then just out of the blue, Roddy, you called him. What was the reason that you called him that day?
Well, you know, anytime anyone loses a parent, it's tough. Yeah. And Shanka, and you know, he was close to his dad. He talked about his dad a lot, and so I'm saying that's the biggest reason right there. You know, we had Shanka's phone number from the very beginning because when we were small like that, we had everybody's phone numbers, you know, and cell numbers, and so and we've talked to Shanka periodically through the years. I will say this: he's close to his dad and his mom. He was very close to them, and he's still close to his family. He's a good family guy. And every year I don't think he's missed a year that we give a bonus at Christmas time. We've got a phone call from Shanka saying, thank you, because my wife will go shopping now, my daughter will go shopping, blah, blah, blah. I get the whole story, but anyway, and I know that Janice will get calls, Danny and Leah get calls from him, and, you know, thanking for that. So, you know, he always says, something you don't have to do, but I'm going to take it, go spend it or something, you know.
That always kicked off the holidays for us. That's what started it.
Well, you know, Shanka, you shared with us, speaking of your father, he's the one that gave you your nickname. You want to share that story on the air here?
He said I was a little fat baby, and it was Christmas Eve, and he was rocking me to sleep in front of the oven, watching the ham. And he looked at the ham, and he looked at me, and he looked at the ham, and looked at me, and he looked just like that Shank pork ham in there. Hey, so he said that was that Budweiser talking. I said, man, you named me after a ham? Well, that was that Budweiser talking. When Roddy called me after he passed away, you know, I was down for, I was at the bottom, and I mean, I couldn't go no further. I was outside the back. I was in the backyard, and I was in a spot where we would shoot fireworks on the 4th of July. And it was under this pine tree, and I remember having my sight on the pine tree, and the phone rang. You know, most of the time when somebody passes away, you get the same thing about, well, you know, he's in a better place. You get the same old thing, and it don't get you nowhere. And so this phone call was different. I answered the phone, and I heard, Shanka, Roddy McKinney, tell me something about your dad. And I got away from that sad stuff, and I started talking about 4th of July and Christmas, so that was the biggest thing. We always got everything for Christmas. We got so much stuff, it would take us until February to open all of the stuff and play with everything. So my dad wouldn't let my mom, you know, until so that's a long time in our house. Then 4th of July, we shooting all these fireworks. So I was telling him about that, and that was my road back to the cover. That was the first thing that turned me from the sad and put me back into the happy mode. And I got on with, I started living my life again. And I remember Roddy saying, you know, that was a good story. You should write that down. So I wrote it down, and they ended up reading it at his funeral, and they had a memorial for him. They read it there, and there you go. My wife got a copy of it.
I got a copy of it.
You still got a copy
of it?
Wow.
I got a copy of it.
I never thought to write that down, but when you said it, it was in my heart. That's a good story. You should write it down. So I wrote it down.
Well, you know, sometimes we have to release them and let them know they're in God's hands, and they're better off than you and I are. And it's a release time, and it makes you feel better. But also, I think you need to send that to Grant. Let Grant have it, and then Grant knows can make a decision if they want to put it out in their newsletter or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can't think of anybody better to be an ambassador for our organization and when it comes to enthusiasm and positivity than Shanka Bridges.
I would certainly agree with that. And, you know, we had a lady call us one time about what all he had done there to help her at the house. And I think there was some other things that needed to be done. Beyond the call of duty, but Shanka was there to do and help. And that's the kind of person he is. And companies are not built by the people at the top. It's built by the people that's out there doing the work and bringing home the bacon, like our technicians and all of our people in the offices and people like you, Grant, and John P. and others. That's the ones that bring home the bacon. So we know that. We should always understand that. And we should never forget it. If you ever forget that, you're going downhill, your company's not going to go uphill.
I did want to make this announcement while I had both of you guys on here. Is Shanka, we still appreciate everything that you've done in adding value to this organization, being the positive influence that you are, being a mentor to so many here, not just technicians, but even to somebody like myself. You know, anybody that really encounters you, you know, you're infectious to the spirit because you're such a good person and you're flowing with enthusiasm. You know, Norman Vincent Peale wrote a book that said enthusiasm makes the difference. And that's how I would describe you, Shanka. So the company does have something special that they want to do for you in celebration of your 20-year anniversary. Would you like to hear what it is?
Yes.
All right.
You got
Get
me
ready.
excited. You got my attention.
So we want you to be able to do anything with your family. So the company's going to give you $2,500 for your good service, brother, to our organization.
All right.
Yes.
Show me the money. I saw that in a movie once. Show me the money.
We're sending John P. down there with cash within the next 24 hours.
Cash. Cash.
That's
my address is 6024 Oak Harbor Club Mobile 36653, sir.
So, well, we're
he's coming down here with cash.
We're so happy for you, brother, and I'll let you know the avenue in which that will be distributed. I'm sure, I don't know how it will be, but I'll get in touch with you and let you know. But I did want to let you know that decision had been made. So congratulations, bud.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I got to call everybody that told me I was crazy for staying and tell them they should have stayed. You got 20 years. You got 20 years to go.
That's right. That's right, brother. And they
said I was crazy.
That's
25.
You the only one left. You crazy.
Well,
I'm trying to come back now. The ones that said I was crazy trying to come back.
Right. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, I hope you have a fantastic day and a great weekend. We appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to join us today.
I got to call my wife.
Hey, guys. We appreciate all of you. And Shanka, we appreciate you. We love all of you. And believe it or not, I just walked in where Janice is. So, Janice, you can say hi to Shanka right quick.
Hello, Shanka.
Hey, Miss Janice! Wow! This is what you know. What? You sound like you're 16 years old.
You always remember, I love you more.
Oh, I love you too. You sound like that 16-year-old girl I told you sounded like 20 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
I did not think I was going I had no idea you was coming on this phone. Wow, this is too good.
Well,
this is the old days.
Exactly. There were wonderful days. Wonderful, wonderful days, and we're going to have more wonderful days, too.
Oh, my God. I can't believe this.
Okay. Take care, and remember, you've always been our prayers and our thoughts, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all, too. I'm glad I work for the McKinney family.
Hey, no, you don't. We're all associates. Nobody works for anybody. We all work together. Hey, one quick thing, guys. In 20 more years, Shanka, just think that'll be more than 5,000 you get then.
That was going to be my closing line. Boy, you still ain't, you got it. You ain't changed, you still got it.
That'll be like 10,000. I'll bring it to you. I'll only be 99 at that time.
You got a deal. You got a deal. We doing this again in 20 doggone years. You got a deal.
That's right. I'm just starting. We're just getting started. What are you talking about?
What in the world? He know my man. Okay, we doing this again. That's what I was going to say. We are doing this again in 20 years. We'll see y'all again.
There you go. All right, gentlemen. And hey, it was certainly good to hear from Miss Janice as well.
All right, man. Thank y'all so much.
All right. Thank you, Shanka.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you. And we'll talk to you soon. Love all of you and talk to you soon. Thank you.
Good, sir.
Okay,
Thank
man.
You. All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Wow. That was great. I got to call my wife. Man. No,
he's still
out. I was on the phone with Rob.
He's telling maybe his wife or something. I don't know. Hey, Shanka, you're still on, buddy. So I have no idea if we're going to use this recording or not, but Shanka, he's gone, but he's still on the call. So I tell you what, guys, we won't be buzzkills to Shanka's party. We'll just keep on keep this train rolling. He's still on, so if he wants to listen to the rest of the show, he certainly can. So wow. Just it was wonderful getting those two together. I hate that we had, some of those technical challenges, but you could feel really the love, the compassion, and really get a kind of an inside look into the relationship, even though some of the audio was choppy.
I would call it camaraderie.
Yeah,
that's the word I would use.
Yeah,
they're comrades.
Two of the most dynamic, charismatic, enthusiastic personalities in the history of Satellites Unlimited, Mr. Shanka Bridges out of Mobile, and our company's founder, Mr. Roddy McKinney.
Yeah, pretty awesome. It was this opportunity just really kind of lined itself up with Shanka celebrating his 20th, and then understanding that those guys have kind of walked hand in hand in their relationship with one another through the years. So really an amazing tribute to Shanka and all he's done, and it's just really awesome to kind of highlight those two and what they've done throughout their relationship. So I tell you what, guys, we've had a lot of submissions from the question that we asked, which was, who's the most positive, enthusiastic team member you know of? And we had more responses to this question. I'm thinking it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 submissions, which is more than any other question that we've had. And I was really, I don't know what you guys thought, because we all saw them kind of filter in via email. I was blown away. What were your thoughts when you were seeing these roll across?
It's a testament. Well, I kind of like to think about things in terms of scale, right? And so when we just heard from Roddy, the founder of the organization, we just heard from Shanka, the longest tenured technician. It feels to me like positivity gravitates to this company, and these testimonials, these answers to these, just verify some of the things that I've known all along. I'm the junior guy at the table right now. I've only been here 13 years.
Right, which is a long time.
Exactly, and so what we found are some guys out there that are truly appreciative of the attitude that our guys are bringing to the table each and every day, and that is, it only reinforces my decision to be at this company, and your decision to be at this company, and John's decision to stay at this company. It's attitude is everything. It's how you get your day started. It's how you should end your day, and so that's the impression that I got from the sheer overwhelming response to this question that we got. How about you, John?
Yeah, no question about it. Going through all of these submissions, I feel it really speaks volumes about the level of talent and professionalism we have out there amongst our technicians, field service managers, general managers. There's even a praising here for a warehouse manager as well. So what a great team we have here. You know what? And it's so easy sometimes. We're here at the corporate facility, and we communicate a lot of times via email. I know I do. And you miss out on a lot of things. And I think that reading these comments really tells us just what a great group of people we truly have out there.
Yeah, I agree. So, I couldn't think of a better question to ask with Roddy and Shanka being on. And I tell you what, without further ado, let's go ahead and I know you guys have piles of these, and we didn't want to leave anybody out, right?
Nope.
So
absolutely not. And, the other thing that struck me about this is it's not one office that answered. There were submissions from all over the company. We did have a couple of repeats, and that's a testament maybe to that specific office or an individual in that office.
Right.
But I've heard this name a lot, just in general, and he's very responsive to me personally. And I've seen this person's positive attitude. But Clayton Henley out of our Grenada office, he's been here since 2021, so relatively new guy. And such an interesting story. He actually, this is my favorite. Well, okay, you can't have a favorite. It's like
he let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, I did. It's a good one to start with, right? Because Clayton wanted to recognize Marvin Williams, his FSM, and he says, and I don't like to read stuff, but I'm going to read this verbatim because I think it speaks to the quality of this comment. Marvin Williams is by far the most positive team member I've met. I do not believe I've ever heard Marvin talk ill of a situation or a person since I've known him. No matter what the situation, Marvin is going to reinforce positivity. And he tells a specific story, and this is a great story because it speaks to some of the struggles that our newer technicians run into, right? I had a job in a local Mexican restaurant, a service call. I'd been there previously and had quite a time getting them set up, and the owner wasn't very happy because he had taken so long. Now, we've all seen that, Grant, as technicians, right? Yeah, you hit that one job, especially when you're new, and then you get that job again.
You get them again.
My goodness,
disdain on that customer's face.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you have to go back, and right. So it's easy to have a poor mindset when you get faced with that situation.
Right.
So here's what Clayton did. He called Marvin and asked that somebody else take that job. I think it probably sounded like, "Please, Marvin, please."
Yeah.
Because the guy didn't like him. Marvin came back and he said, "We really don't have anyone else in that area. That he would have to go down there himself." But look, he encouraged him to make the best of the situation and try to change the customer's mind, which is that's a big task when you feel like you might not have gotten it right the first time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I didn't like the idea at all. Despite my unwillingness to go, Marvin never gave up on the idea that I could turn this around, that it was all up to me. When I pulled up, the customer wasn't very enthusiastic to see me. We can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
I held my head high and was able to fix what was wrong quickly. At the end of the job, the customer asked me if I could hang a TV for him. So not only did he win the customer over, he was able to go a step further and offer the customer solutions.
Yeah.
He immediately said yes. He didn't have a mount, though. As luck would have it, right?
Right.
Marvin didn't hesitate. He loaded up the van and drove over an hour to bring him the mount. Not only did he bring it, he helped him hang it. He's remembered that positive reinforcement and words of wisdom from Marvin since that day, and it's carried on with him through several other challenging jobs going forward. So that's the kind of positivity impression that you might not even know you make on a person, right?
Sure.
That Marvin might not remember that specific thing because that's what Marvin does every day, but it made an impression on Clayton, and we see how that positive attitude really affects lives.
Yeah, I've got one here from
a testimonial for sure.
Absolutely, it is. I've got one here from Michael Wacko out of Gainesville, and this just reminded me of something, guys. Earlier when we were talking to Camilo, I stated that I was down there in October. It was not October; it was November. And here's why I know it was November that I was down at these offices, because Michael Wacko in October of 2019 actually won a Hughes contest for a Pit Boss smoker that I personally delivered to the Gainesville office, and that was in early November for the October contest. So Michael Wacko wants to recognize Mr. John Bongiovanni, his general manager. States here, without a doubt, it would have to be John Bongiovanni. He has always had a positive can-do attitude and is always willing to listen and lend a helping hand. So I think that really speaks well of Mr. John Bongiovanni.
It does indeed. You know, going back to Florida, we got a couple of back-to-back Crestviews.
Love the back-to-backs.
Back-to-backs.
Fan.
Yeah.
Only thing better than back-to-backs, the back-to-back-to-back, right?
Yeah, well, those are kind of hard to find. So Joshua Phillip wanted to recognize that Tyler Mills. He had, I think, had some difficulty in figuring out Polk and the best way to approach customers. And so he wanted to recognize Tyler because he was very, helpful with that regard, supported him a lot through learning how to effectively do those things with the Polk system. But we also had Mr. Rowell recognize Tyler Mills as well.
Is that Daniel Rowell?
Daniel Rowell out of our Crestview office. Tyler Mills is a popular guy down there, and it's probably a pretty enthusiastic fellow to have two people back to back.
Yeah.
One more would have been back to back to back.
That's right.
But so great job, Tyler, and thank you to both Daniel and Joshua for sending those submissions.
Well, guess what, guys? We're going to stay in the state of Florida for right now, because here I have a submission from Mr. Daniel Wayner out of Ocala. Daniel, another gentleman I met back in 2019 on the visit down there, a very nice gentleman, and he wants to recognize his FSM, Mr. Anthony Novello. Tony Novello goes by, right? Tony.
Yeah.
So he states here that that Tony can truly change someone's negative attitude just by showing up. He's always able to turn Crabby Dan, I guess referring to himself, Daniel Wayner, Crabby Dan into Happy Dan just by talking to him. He said he's one of the most favorite people that he knows, and he's a pleasure to work with and work for. And many of the techs in the office feel the same way about Mr. Tony Novello, field service manager in Ocala.
You know, it's interesting that you bring up Tony and back to back. Well, we have another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that came from Jeremiah Compton.
Okay.
Out of Gainesville. I'll read this one because it's a good one.
This is very Florida based.
It is very Florida based. I figured we'd get them out of the way. How many?
They're on the Eastern time.
How many?
So it only makes sense that they should go first.
It's all the sun and vitamin D, I think, right?
Is that what it does?
Yeah.
John, you lived in Florida. Is there some truth to that? Do you just naturally feel more happy when you're in Florida?
I always did. Yeah, I always enjoyed the state of Florida, Tampa Bay area. Yeah.
It's a great place to visit.
It really is.
Oh, yeah.
Year-round great weather. Gotta love it.
So let's hear what Jeremiah Compton had to say. I would have to say that Anthony Novello, a.k.a. Tony, out of the Ocala office, anytime I need something or any help, Tony is always there, super positive, and always puts a smile on my face. One of the best employees the company has. No matter how crazy your day is, call Tony, and you're going to be laughing and feeling pumped up.
You know, it's funny, as like this has been, and not funny, I guess just ironic, right? Is that it's very, when this got sent out, I was expecting it to be a lot of peer-to-peer recognition, maybe like lead techs or, hey, my buddy I work with that, it was very, very manager heavy.
It was.
Whether it be warehouse man, so far on the ones that y'all have read, it's been very field service manager focused.
Right.
So
it's funny to say that, because what a great segue into this next piece of recognition.
We in Florida again?
No, we're not in Florida. Now we're back in Mississippi now.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're in Grenada, Mississippi, to be exact. And this is from Harvey Palmertree, relatively new tech, started with us on May 23rd of this year. And while he says he cannot really pinpoint a specific person, he is saying that the management team is great, that they push with encouragement and enthusiasm each day to go out and give 100% no matter what. He states that our management team makes the job lively, interesting, challenging, to where he wants to get up, get ready for work, and defeat the day each and every day. So kudos to the Grenada management team. That will consist of your field service managers, John Kirk, Marvin Williams, general manager Kyle Newland. And let's not forget the CSRs, who really the glue that can bind an office together, friends, Shannon Bass and Ellen Wall. So a great job to all of those folks in the Grenada office.
Yeah, and that was based off of Mr. Wadlington, right?
This was Harvey Palmertree.
Oh, Harvey Palmertree.
Yep.
But he was recognizing who?
He was recognizing the entire management team.
Oh, the entire management team. Okay, so that would be Mr. Wadlington too.
Oh, there you go. I'm sorry.
But wait.
I think we had one.
We had one.
Absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Great segue, guys.
There you go. Hey,
yeah, we are segue central.
We're on fire, baby.
Into we heard about Marvin Williams. We heard about the Grenada recognition, the management recognition.
Yeah.
And kind of a testament to Marvin's positivity, right? As he sent in a submission as well.
And he's very active in sending submissions too. So
active, responsive, polite when you talk to him.
Yeah.
Just an all-around good guy. And so his submission was to recognize the warehouse manager, Kelvin Wadlington.
Yeah.
And I like how he puts it. What Marvin says is he's one of the most uplifting and positive individuals on our team. His love for SUI and for Grenada, which he calls his second home, shines.
It's pretty awesome.
And all he does, he takes time to get to know everyone on a personal level and is always eager to hear how the techs are doing. He loves to see good effort pay off and celebrate success right there with the rest of them. So he's not just serving as a function of the Grenada office. He's serving as a cheerleader as well, and that's very important, right?
Yeah.
No matter where you get that support from, that support is valuable to everybody.
Kelvin's a big. He's a native of St. Louis, so he's a big St. Louis sports fan, and he basically moved to Mississippi. I can't remember what the reason was, but he came right from St. Louis to Mississippi, and this was the first job, I think, if I have that correctly. But
wow.
Kelvin, give me a ring if I slaughtered that one. So
who else celebrated his 1 year anniversary?
Oh, 1 year anniversary. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, get ready for this next one. Okay. We have 5. Count them 5 individuals to recognize here. All courtesy of Mr. Dakota Parker out of Albertville. Dakota started with us on February the 21st of this year, and he wants to recognize the following team members: Jason Cash, Josh Webb, Evan Elliott, David Weaver, and Bobby Smith. And here are the comments, my friends. Jason Cash is great because he is always fun and goofy, but when you have questions about something not working right, or why he thinks outside the box, he can help you solve your problem quick and efficiently. He is also rooting for you to do the very best you can, no matter if it's sales or just in loadout. Josh Webb, a great positive team member who helps keep you on sight of the long-term goal and can help you with knowledge to achieve that goal. Mr. Evan Elliott, a strong team member who isn't afraid to get down and dirty with work and make sure it's right, but is also a strong person for on-site sales and can give advice if needed on anything. How about General Manager, Mr. David Weaver? And he says here, well, let's be honest. David wouldn't be leading 3 offices if he wasn't a great influence and a hard worker. He pushes every one of his guys to do better on every customer they roll up to each and every day. And then last but certainly not least, Mr. Bobby Smith, a longtime veteran here at Satellites Unlimited, a great positive influence. Bobby's a great trainer, takes his time making sure that you know what you're doing and how to understand it efficiently. States here that he worked with Bobby for almost his whole training and couldn't have asked for a better trainer or a more positive role model for what Satellites Unlimited asks us to be.
That's awesome.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it was very thoughtful and well laid out email. It was a lot of recognition from one operation for sure. So,
it's interesting. We talk about how we had a lot of our technicians respond with recognition for their FSMs, but quite frankly, I just saw an FSM recognizing a warehouse manager.
That's right.
It really works very well together, because when you have an organization where our managers are recognizing positivity with our technicians are, how better of a world could that be, right?
Right. No, I agree.
So Johnny Swansea is a good example. He wanted to recognize one of his technicians,
Look at that.
Adam Meridian, Andrew Weed, a relatively new guy. He started here in 2021, February. And what Johnny says is Andrew Weed is always there to help brighten up chat. So he's very active in the chat room, very positive, and help other techs. You know, a new tech, relatively speaking, helping technicians is that's what we look for, right?
Yeah.
When you tell a tech to reach out to him, you know that he's going to be there with a positive experience. He's not going to turn it into a negative conversation, so it keeps every communication positive. The man always has a smile on his face, either at 4:45 in the morning or 9:30 at night. The way he looks at work is an inspiration, and he refuses to have a bad day. So thank you, Johnny Swansea, for that feedback on Anthony Weed out of Meridian.
Andrew Weed.
Andrew,
yeah. No, yeah, it's Andrew's. You know, he's got like young kids too. He's got a very active household. So like, you know, I mean, there's some sacrifices to, you know, what he's doing, like, you know, as far as like, you know, staying out late and,
Right.
you know, our technician make a lot of sacrifices, really. I mean, but, you know, he's got a young family. I was at the Meridian picnic this past year, and, you know, he's got a young baby along with, I want to say 2 other small children. So, but very good attitude. And again, Todd, I loved your point of, you know, FSM, you know, promoting techs and techs promoting management. That is exactly the type of partnership you want, without question. So what else you got? We got them lined up, don't we?
Well, Grant, you are really going to enjoy this next one.
I've enjoyed them all.
Well, this one in particular, do you know why?
I think I know why.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it's
because you are mentioned, my friend.
I know, but I'm more of on the, you know, I try to be, you know, again.
He's humble. We know.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, well-deserved praise I'm about to read here. This comes from Mr. Dustin Bowerman, goes by Chase Bowerman, out of Birmingham. And I got to mention also that Chase will be celebrating 4 years with Satellites Unlimited on July 24th. So happy anniversary to Chase Bowerman.
Awesome.
And here's what Chase has to say. He's recognizing you, Grant, as well as some others. He says, yeah, I have a few. Grant would be one of my main ones mentioned. I may not reach out to him like I do others, but I can always remember him leading our morning meetings or having a conversation with me about something. Grant has an intense but unforgettable energy he provided while he was my general manager, and even now in his new role. I definitely have to give a shout out to Abraham Trapani and Andy Loera. These 2 guys aren't fellow techs anymore to me, but brothers. If I'm frustrated or having a bad day, I can call either of them and they can give me a different perspective to look at. Even though I'm a senior tech and lead tech, we also have our days when we have negative thoughts or feelings. It's just human nature. I'm always available as well for other techs if they just need to talk or need someone to lift their spirits up as well. But even if I need to pick up from time to time. I love this. I have to mention David Weaver, my current general manager, one of my original trainers and field service managers as well. He's always keeping me on a positive track and always lets me know he has my back. I've seen him drive inventory around to techs, stay up late checking on people, or even helping people, and now running 3 offices. He's definitely someone that I look up to and respect on an extremely high level. So guys, got to say, I mean, all of the individuals recognized here, top-notch talent at Satellites Unlimited, fine individuals. I can speak personal experience on David Weaver, someone that he stays on top of email. You know, if I'm doing email late at night, David will reply back to me following up. So I definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate the comments that Chase made on all of these fine individuals, including you, Grant.
Yeah, no, it was, you know, that was very kind words from Chase.
But there's one more.
Yeah.
I forgot. There's one more he mentioned here.
Yeah.
I think it was after the fact.
That's right.
He also wants to mention the person that started to shape him as a technician as well. Nicholas Teeling was my trainer, field service manager, and mentor when I first started my career here at Satellites Unlimited. Nick and I still talk from time to time, and he's still just as supportive as a recruiter now as he was as my trainer and field service manager. Nick Teeling, of course, started with us back on 2004. He's got us beat, Grant.
He does.
By a year. And just a great guy and you know, certainly a top-notch individual here at Satellites Unlimited.
Yeah, it was you know, it was good, man. Chase is a good dude, and you know, one of the best technicians that we have. He started making a run, and I'll tell you, like, everybody, you know, you talk about, like, from a development standpoint, everybody develops at different paces and everything. Some people are a little bit faster out of the gate than others, but just because it maybe takes you a little bit longer, and Chase will sit there and tell you, like, it was a real struggle when he started, and but he is to the point to where he is considered a technical expert in the Birmingham office on many, many things. When you look at things like OnTech, like thermostat specifically, like, he is the go-to guy on those types of things. And he has come a long way, and it's a credit to his drive, his determination, his hard work. And I'm sure everybody, you know, on there, you know, from myself to Nick and David, would tell you, hey, if we, you know, we help play a small part in getting him to where he needs to be, that's all well and good. But ultimately, that rides on Chase's, you know, drive and motivation, essentially. So,
you know, another thing that Chase is known for.
What's that?
He's the go-to guy, lead tech.
That's right.
Yeah. They bring him in he's really good at developing other technicians,
right.
and his leadership shows and shines in that way. But another subset of people that I see, another theme throughout these is, and I just want to, not going to take any credit for this at all, but lead techs, you see a lot of those sending in submissions. One is Justin Boyd.
Yeah.
He wanted to recognize Tim Jones, his FSN, out of Hattiesburg, and specifically about his attitude. He always knows how to get us techs going when we're having a bad day or down. He's one of a kind. So he wanted to recognize his manager, Tim Jones.
I'll tell you, I saw, you know, Justin Boyd was up there in Chattanooga out of market, and he was a very positive individual on their chat up there. You know, we know Chattanooga office is kind of an up and coming office with a lot of new technicians. And Mr. Boyd was extremely positive. And, you know, Tim Jones, just, and Tim's got a big family too.
He does.
From what I understand, I think is it 5 kids possibly he may have?
He's got a bunch of them.
He collects them for sure. We got quite a few folks that work here that collect children, and Tim is one of them. And, you know, I thought maybe I had possibly some notes on that, but that's cool. It's some more recognition from an FSM standpoint. So
yeah,
pretty awesome. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do have that. He was married, so it's going to be 9 years this year. He's got 5 kids.
I thought it was right.
Yeah, so he has 1 boy and 4 girls. So former military and considered the nest expert in that office. So
that'll make you work hard.
Yeah,
give you a positive attitude too.
Absolutely, cool deal.
You're looking at me like I have another one.
Oh, do you have another one?
I do have another one. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And it's back in Birmingham again. So this is a gentleman, Dustin Kennedy, started with us on May the 9th of this year. So still a trainee, right, Todd? I mean, technically speaking, right? I love this because Dustin just thinks everybody is great. Really, that's what he says. Okay. Completely honest, man. I've never had a job where everybody's treated fairly, equally. Everybody's part of a real team. So if I had to say anybody, it would be the whole Satellites Unlimited team. You guys are great, man. I love that.
All right, hey man.
Okay, it's
all right.
All right, yeah, yeah.
When you all own the company, right?
Right.
But that's good stuff, though. And you know that I think that speaks well of your training, Todd, because this is a guy that's relatively new. First impression. I mean, come on.
Wow.
I thought we did our job right.
Feedback.
So yeah, it's good feedback.
Hey, look, we have heard from Louisiana, but I think it's time we heard from him again. Mr. Aaron Caldwell, another lead tech out of Baton Rouge, has been here since 2019. He wants to recognize two of the most influential and positive people that he talks to nearly every day and lift him up. And he wants to recognize both of his FSMs, Troy Robertson and Don Reyes. Don was an FSM when he first started. He was great at giving him encouragement and pointers. Nearly 3 years later, I still consider him to be the best FSM I could have started out with. So lots of support on the front end.
That's
is what
cool.
that sounds like.
Yeah.
Crucial in the career of a technician. Right?
Absolutely.
Is that first 6 months. But Troy Roberts, when he first started, was a lead tech. So Troy Roberts turned Aaron into a lead tech.
That's cool.
By being a good lead tech. Troy was there to help him out a lot when he first started out, and he just wanted to recognize him as well.
That's pretty cool. And Aaron, I think we've had more submissions from Aaron on questions than any other technician in the company. And Aaron, we had him on as a guest on that podcast. He strikes me as the type of guy that I think you're probably going to have to earn a compliment from Aaron. Right. Is that fair? I mean, he's and so, for that to, that kind of commentary from someone as passionate and as strong as somebody like Aaron Caldwell, I think is a huge testament to that team down there in Baton Rouge.
Absolutely. And the results show, they're doing a lot better than they've done in a very long time. And I think that positive attitude has a lot to do with it.
That's awesome.
As we've said before, Aaron's a big supporter of this program, and great to have him on board with us.
Yeah, and it made me think about when he came on, he was talking about, he's going to have a daughter. Yeah. And so, I haven't seen anything come across from him. So that tells me, I can't remember when he said the due date was for her, but, I guess we'll find out when we find out. Based off of his submissions, I would expect something in the inbox when she's born. So,
right.
All right. How many more we got here?
I've got one left.
I've got two left too. Hey.
All right. So here we go. A young man out of Meridian, Mississippi, Mr. Christopher Banks, started with us November 29th of 2019, and he has two people he wants to recognize. William Woods, who I think doesn't it go by Casey Woods?
It goes by Casey Woods.
So Casey Woods and Noah Cutts, both very active in our chat, always quick with a joke or a laugh, competitive with their numbers in a way that makes it fun and inspires me to join in. You get the sense they enjoy what they do, and that kind of attitude is infectious. Wow, what a great statement from Mr. Chris Banks.
Powerful statement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before I do this last one, I have to mention this. Every single person that submitted to this question, having the observations is one thing, but taking the time out of your day to send a submission to a question like this speaks to their positivity, and they're recognizing positive behavior that usually you're reflecting that positive behavior. So I just want to send a shout out and a thank you to each and everyone that sent a submission.
Absolutely.
So Charles Carter being one of those out of the Meridian office again.
That's 3 from Meridian, right?
It is. Yeah. Johnny Swansea. He mentions Johnny Swansea as a manager, and Noah Cutts as a peer. Johnny's gonna push you and explain what can be better. Noah is steadily congratulating all the time, success, doing good, motivating everyone to keep pushing, thriving, and trying. So thank you, Charles, for that.
All right, guys. So here's my last one. This was submitted by Mr. Kevin Parker, general manager for Montgomery, and I'm a big fan of this gentleman about to recognize here. Herb Gary definitely sets the tone in our office, kicking the hangouts off sometimes as early as 2 a.m. before he hits the gym, pushing his fellow techs to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Throughout the day, he pushes everyone through Hangouts and is a great mentor for our newer techs, being positive even when they are dealing with the learning curve and the struggles of learning the trade. Countless techs have said Herb convinced them to stick with it. And he further states here, this is Kevin Parker now, Herb even made an impact on me before I ever met him when I was a tech in Birmingham, posting on the regional hangout early in the morning, reminding everyone the early bird gets the worm. And I got to tell you guys, I mean, Herb, a longtime veteran here at Satellites Unlimited, he'll be celebrating 16 years with us on September the 21st. A fine gentleman, and I'll tell you what, he will always greet you with a handshake and a hug.
And you'll know that you received that handshake.
Oh, you will. Get ready. You almost have to prepare for it. It's like
Herb Gary, aka Bone Crusher.
Yeah, and so here's another thing about Herb. So like I've seen, the correspondence like in the chat groups and everything. So Herb's not like I don't think you classify it. It's not like really old, but I think in like the world of like technicians, he's just an older guy. Emoji game's strong, man. The emoji game from Herb Gary is strong. I'm talking about, the early bird gets the worm, man. Yeah. I've seen that all spelled out in emojis. Really? And then he's like, blowing, fireworks at like 5 a.m. with little emojis, like firework emojis. Like his emoji game's strong, man, for an older guy.
Well, think about this for a second. He's getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning
to go work out,
to go to the gym.
I've seen it at 1 something. John.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There are others within this organization, John, that might do that. Who could that possibly be?
Yeah, I've done that myself. Let me tell you something, guys. It is not easy, but here's what's really impressive about Herb. My job here is not really of a physical nature, okay? But he's out there in the gym, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, and then he's going out working a route. Yeah. I mean, the physicality involved here, that's just incredible.
It is incredible, man. It really is. It really is. And it is an inspiration.
Yeah, but it speaks to his passion, to his energy, and to his love of this business.
It also speaks to his general size. That dude's crushing it.
He's jacked.
Incredible condition. Incredible shape.
Condition. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I agree. So one of my favorite photos that we've ever taken of anybody here at the organization is the one where Herb's at the back of his van and he's got this bulging bicep. I mean, that dude's shredded like a salad, man. So,
it's funny because I love that picture because when HughesNet had asked us a few months back, you remember this?
That's right, yeah.
To submit some pictures they wanted to put on, I guess, one of their websites. Yeah. And you had sent me some of those photos, including that one, and that was like one of my favorites. I did include that when I sent it over to them.
So, it's and the cool thing is like he's intimidating in that picture, right? Like if you look at like his facial characteristics in that photo, like he looks like but tremendously like respectful, compassionate, great family man. I was down there for the Montgomery picnic and he had his whole family there in attendance bowling. And he is just, I will tell you, you can tell like he's the patriarch of the family. And you look at how his sons look at him and how his family looks at him, man. And I'll be honest. I mean, I feel the same way you do. When I look at him, I respect him that much, not just for what he does for us, but for the man that he is,
One of the nicest people in this company, a true advocate for Satellites Unlimited. Yeah. I was there a few years back at the old Montgomery facility doing a meeting with the technicians, and you could tell that he was a leader amongst those technicians and just how he carried himself. And his energy became contagious to me as well and helped me through that meeting.
Was that at the dog yard? The dog yard. The dog yard office?
That's the Pike Road office. Is that what they call it?
Oh, the incense.
Where the old incense factory in the middle of the office? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be an incense factory.
Did it really? Okay. Did not know that.
Right. And they have a dog,
right next door. It's same thing.
Yeah, a boarding place right next door. So you can hear the dogs all day while you're at the office. So.
The new office is much nicer.
I haven't been to the new office yet, but I know that the team was super excited to get into that building. That other building was a little rough. So.
It was bad.
Yeah. So, but anyways, sorry. Podcast. So, hey guys, I know that was a lot of submissions. I know before I mean, we could have gone through here and cherry picked. I just don't know that you do that on a question like this.
Yeah,
So,
when you ask for recognitions,
ones,
when you ask for recognition,
yeah,
and somebody takes the time to recognize somebody, it's regardless of the amount of time it takes. I think it warrants.
And plus, it was such great content you want to share with everybody.
You do, yeah, yeah. So
I'm inspired by it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. If that doesn't make you feel better about where you work at and those types of things, that there's so many folks. It's almost 2 hours in at this point.
It's a live show, folks. Hey, live to tape, I guess, right?
Yeah. So but there's so many folks that have that ability to kind of inspire and it kind of motivate, and to me, it starts, in any organization from the top down. And I think, for many, many years, Roddy was great. I mean, this is somebody that shared the stage with Zig Ziglar at one point. I mean, he inspired me when I started working here. So, we had people like like Andy Goldblatt, we were
love Andy,
and I think the tradition continues today. So, as with many of these testimonials,
we call it servant leadership, right?
Servant leadership. So, with that being said, guys, I mean, what were your thoughts on this episode? It was a little wild. There were some kind of bumps in the road,
but the bumps made it exciting. It made it exciting.
Yeah.
And guys, we had some tremendous guests.
I'm excited about editing it.
And you know what? You're very good at editing, I must say.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me personally, I gotta say it may be my favorite podcast yet, and it's number 10.
Yeah,
it's a milestone.
It is a milestone. Again, we go back to double digits. Again, it's easy to dwell on negatives. It really is. Like, I think sometimes that's human nature to some degree, to dwell on the negatives. And so I think it's nice to be in a situation where you can celebrate positives and separate yourself. Anytime you're in an organization for any period of time, I guess the best analogy I could use is this, right? As a technician, you go to 20 jobs, right? And all of them are great. And then you go to that one job that's terrible, right? What do you go home and talk about?
That's right.
You go home and talk about the negative. And so it's great to have a forum.
It's a great analogy.
It's great to be in a situation where we can recognize individuals as a group and kind of celebrate those wins when it comes to our positive leaders within this organization, because you don't have to be a manager to be a leader. And so that positive attitude is what I think it made me feel better personally. And I appreciate again having the opportunity to be here at the podcast with you. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate both of you being here and contributing with those testimonials, and it's been a great episode hearing from Roddy and Shanka and Camilo, and so I walk away from this episode feeling very thankful to be in a position to just be able to share these testimonials and recognition, and be able to highlight the folks that are the revenue producers for our organization. So with that being said, hey, we'll have episode 11 in 2 weeks. Who knows what's on the docket? I have no general idea after today. So, but the future is bright. We appreciate each and every one of you. You have a hard job. This is your podcast. Please feel free to send any kind of suggestions, send any kind of testimonials, any type of recognition, anything you want, really, to podcast@suidish.com. That's going to go to John, Mark, Todd, and myself. And we want to feature you, and we want to have the topics that are pertinent to what you feel should be a part of the podcast. So with that being said, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We hope everybody has a safe and productive next couple of weeks, and we'll be back bigger, better than ever. August 5th or whatever it is. Yeah, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. August 5th, we'll record again. And so anyways, so long.